Welcome back to Land Investing 101, where I blog about tips, advice, things I've learned, and definitions that I think are useful for land investing, real estate investing. So today we're going to talk about creations of easements. In the last few videos, we told you what easements are. In this video, I'm going to talk about how an easement is created. So there's four ways, an easement is created. Number one, expressly by writing. So this can be in a transfer of a deed, the transfer of a contract between two property owners or one property owner that gives someone else the right to this non-possessory interest in land called an easement. So that's the first way, expressly by writing. The second one is implied by prior use. So this is, for example, if you're using a road to keep going up and down and it's the only road that goes in and out of your property, but you don't own the land that you're driving on the road, you may have an easement implied by prior use. That's number two, implied by prior use. There's three things that need to be in place to make sure that you actually get an easement implied by prior use. Unity of title. At severance, easement must be apparent. That's number two. And three, use must be reasonable. Okay, so those are the three things that will give you an easement, implied by prior use. Unity of title, at severance, easement must be apparent, and use must be reasonable. So if you have an implied easement to go up and down the driveway to get to your house, it doesn't mean you can start a racetrack there on that easement, right? It has to be reasonable. So number three, implied by necessity. This happens often when you buy a piece of land and it's landlocked, meaning there's no road to it. Now, someone else who owns property in one of the surrounding areas of your land has to give you the right to get to that property. This is called an easement, right? That driveway that you get is an easement, and it's implied by necessity. That's the third way an easement is created, implied by necessity. This also happens when a parcel is split. So for example, you own 10 acres, you sell the first 5 acres that are attached to the road to your cousin, and you keep the back 5 acres. So the only way to get out of the back 5 acres is to go through that first 5 acres. That's called implied by necessity. Okay, it's when a parcel is split, it must be split, and the necessity must be present. Implied by necessity. So the fourth way to create an easement is by prescription. By prescription is the same as adverse possession. Go back, we have another video on adverse possession here on the channel or on our blog, depending on where you're seeing this. Homescape, HOMSKAPE.com. And by prescription, the same as adverse possession, basically means no one gave you right to it. You just started using it. It was adverse to the person's interest in the land. You didn't really have their permission. It was actual and notorious, actual and open, except you don't have to be exclusive when it comes to easement by prescription. So someone else can use it as well, but you have to be open about it. You have to be notorious about it. You have to be under the claim of right, like you own this piece of dirt that you're using, and you will get an easement by prescription. So there's also a statutory period, and you have to be using it for continuously throughout the statutory period to acquire an easement by prescription. So those are the four ways easements are created. I'll give them to you again in order: expressly by a writing, 1, implied by prior use, 2, implied by necessity, 3, and by prescription. An easement by prescription, meaning it's very similar to adverse possession, except for you don't have to use it exclusively. So that's how easements are created. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the page and check us out. Put your notifications on so you can be alerted every time we put up a new video about land investing, real estate advice, or real estate law. We'll talk again soon, guys.